Hello, we're back. It's another day.
Hi guys.
Yeah, it's been like 2 days, but that's okay. So here we are. Things have changed. Well, not really. I got my hair done, so I do not look the same as I did in the last video.
Tell everybody, tell Terryn how awesome she looks. Do it. Put it in the comments. Do it. Okay. So we already did the mothership. So now we're gonna do SVU. Did you mean to send me a second one?
No, it just was being slow on the MacBook. Trying to send, so I just sent it over. So we're gonna kind of just go through this one because we don't. Nothing has happened in the past 2 days either. So we're just gonna keep moving here so I can put the episode.
Yeah, somehow nothing. This episode was really good. So it's called
one thing did happen. We did one thing. Mariska did. Mariska was featured in a video
for Women's History Month. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you should go see it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, Queen. Pull up the pictures. Pull up the pictures.
You all can pull up the pictures on yourself, okay?
She looks so good.
It takes a lot of effort to pull up Instagram on my computer, all right? So you all can go look, but she's stunning, okay?
Stunning with a capital.
Because it indeed is Women's History Month.
Yes.
It's called the Grid.
So happy Women's History Month, everybody who celebrates the Grid Plan. And it starts with Olivia, and she's speaking at a conference. I don't remember what the conference is for.
It didn't even say it was for. She was just
for. Yes, and our queen was speaking at a conference. And as she's talking, she's saying that she's talking about how things can be unpredictable even when a victim does everything right.
Yeah.
In regards to
what's going to happen. So unaware to her. That is what's happening in the background.
So she says that, and then we transition to the woman, the guest star of the episode. Her name is. She's stopped by a couple, and she's like, "Didn't we see you here the other day?" She's like, "Yeah." So her name is Megan from Iowa, and she took a little trip to New York, and she has seen 6 shows in 5 days.
Yeah, she's seen a lot of shows.
To which
they mentioned a couple on the episode, but she's seen a lot of them.
I would do the exact same thing.
I think she's seen Chicago. I think she's seeing Chicago. She sees Hamilton, and we're assuming because there's a lot of things around Hamilton, so we assume she's seen Hamilton. We don't know what else she's seen, but we do know for certain that's what she has indeed.
Yeah, so she goes to a show, and then she goes to a bar after the show, and she's FaceTiming her husband, and she's like, "I'm here because apparently the cast of The Lion King."
So maybe she's gone to see The Lion King. We don't really know.
Sometimes hangs out here, but she says it's hard to tell because they don't have their makeup on. And then we go to back to Olivia, and she's saying, as Megan is walking down the street, what was safe yesterday isn't today.
Yeah.
And then
Olivia
interlude, small transition, and then we get Olivia walking to the crime scene right outside the Richard Rogers Theater, which is where Hamilton is, and Terryn pointed out this is probably when Mariska met the cast, and that is
there's a couple pictures.
Yeah, that's definitely it, because it's literally right outside their theater.
Yeah. If y'all don't know, Mariska is the biggest Hamilton fan.
She's seen the show like 22.
Who knows? Who knows? That was when she was talking about it. Who knows how many times she's seen it since?
22 plus, probably 50 now.
Who knows? Sometimes she's gone to see Hamilton a lot, but she's the biggest Hamilton fan.
It's why Davia Diggs and Anthony Ramos have been on the show, and May, and
Leslie
now
Odom Jr. is also
Leslie.
a lot of
Now we need to get Lynn on the
the
show.
original score.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the original. I've been obsessed with Hamilton recently. That's all I've listened to when I'm driving currently. But anyway.
So Mariska goes to talk to the victim, and she's like trying to ask her what's happening, and all she can say is, "I just came to town to see some shows."
Yeah, it's like, oh,
She's like in absolute disbelief that this has happened. Like all she came was to go see some musicals,
yeah,
and
literally.
she ended up getting
Because musicals are fantastic.
yes, yes they are, and she ended up getting assaulted.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So she's taken to the hospital. We have
The same triage nurse that's there quite often.
yeah, his name is Rudy, and I don't remember what his last name is, but he's there a lot. And he's talking to Olivia, and she said, that she did her kit. I would talk, and that I would talk to her because there's a underlying condition that she was recently diagnosed with, but it's not my place to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say at first I thought it was cancer, and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me right
It
now?"
would have been really sad, but
That
that's
would
not
be
it though.
even
So.
worse. It's not cancer, thankfully. Um, we then find out that Megan is extremely detailed. She has a
Mm-hmm.
daily planner that she wrote everything in, including the details of her attack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she says that the man she talked to had a suitcase and a bottle, and he was really nicely dressed. He took her into an alleyway, pushed her against a wall, and did it.
Yeah.
And
So
then she saw him because he circled back around and came back for the bottle that he left.
yeah, yeah. So you're like,
And she was just so confused because she told Olivia, I was wearing a winter coat. I wasn't even dressed to attract attention. And to which Olivia said, "None of this is your fault. It does not matter what you were
yeah,
wearing. It is not your fault."
yeah,
Um, we then find out that her underlying condition is MS,
yeah.
or
It was
multiple
multiple
sclerosis,
sclerosis.
which is a condition that affects your nervous system, I
I
believe.
believe so. We didn't research too much, but well,
I know I have two family members that have MS, so I should know this.
um, yeah, you were right. Nervous system.
A disease in which the immune system eats away at the protective covering of nerves. Nerve damage disrupts communication between the brain and the body, can result in pain, fatigue, impaired coordination, and sometimes people can end up in wheelchairs because of it. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's debilitating if not monitored. Um, she was diagnosed with it 2 weeks ago. She did not tell her husband. That is why she's in New York,
Mm-hmm.
basically to have a one last hurrah before her body starts deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to precinct. Olivia fills everybody in, and they're all really confused. And Bruno's like, "Why go back for the bottle?" And
Yeah, because you're like, it's a bottle. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but
Olivia's like, "You're all detectives. Figure it out."
figure it out. That's your job.
So they go start canvassing. They said the witness did see the assault, but she wasn't sure it was an assault because Megan wasn't screaming.
Yeah, but that is not disqualified.
No. It's kind of like the bystander effect in play. Like she's like, I saw it, but I didn't think I needed to do anything.
She was like, people hook up all the time in New
Yeah.
York. Like, that's not strange. You're like,
Unfortunately, no. Um, we then find out 1PP is calling because Olivia.
Yeah, this is a big deal because it's Broadway. People don't think dangerous things are happening in
Usually
Times
it's
Square. I
Times
mean,
Square.
anywhere is dangerous for real,
Dangerous
but
shows. It's yeah, and
nowhere is truly safe. But
they eventually, with some camera footage, find that the guy threw the bottle up top on a roof.
everyone is confused by the fact that the bottle did not break. They're like, everyone was like, oh, everybody is like, bro, how did the bottle not break? That make any sort of sense, but whatever.
And so Kate and Bruno are like looking at this, and Kate's like, "How are we supposed to get this?" And then Bruno's like, "You're gonna need a ladder. I'll call CSU." In other words, yeah, rookie, you can go get rookie can go get it. New girl can go get it. So
You're
there's
like, you got this.
Silva's literally climbing up a ladder.
Yeah.
Comes down with the bottle, is staring at it, and is like, "Why is this
What is this?
so
Well, no,
important?"
Bruno would know.
And then Bruno takes the bottle, looks right at it, and he's like, "This is a bottle of Shiraz, which is apparently $1,000 Australian wine."
And it's very expensive. You're like,
Of course he would know.
he would know because he's very wealthy, but he's like,
Expensive cars, expensive watches, expensive drinks. Like, dude's living it up and still
exactly.
being a cop.
Yeah, because he likes his job. So
He's a good man.
but so then where were we? Oh, so we found out this guy. Olivia has to give a press conference again.
And basically, like, everybody's like,
You need to guarantee the city is safe.
"How do we
They're
know
like,
Times Square is safe if this happened?" And she's like, "It is. And I'll prove it."
yep. So they got a lot to
She pretty much knows that they need to catch this guy.
sooner rather than later.
We then get Bruno and Silva investigating some more. They find out that the guy who the reason why he had the wine bottle was was a wine rep. And so wine reps go around to different restaurants and try to get them to sell their wine at the restaurant. And so they're going around to like different places, and they kept finding out that everyone was telling the guy no because they either already had a supply or it was way too expensive.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna be buying this if it costs $1,000. If it's $1,000 per bottle, that drink's probably about $100 per glass. Anyway,
then Olivia gets a phone call to, actually no, Kate and Bruno are walking down the street. They turn.
they're like, "Is
see,
that her?
Is that Megan?" And Megan is giving out flyers to people.
Have you seen this man
in Times Square? This man, pretty much saying, "This man assaulted me last night. Have you seen him?"
Yeah.
And so they're like, "We gotta call Liv." They call Olivia, and she's like trying to get her back. Like,
she's like, "Hey,
she's like, and Megan's like, "I'm just trying to help." And
Olivia's like,
"We
got this."
The poor woman does not know what else to do. And Olivia goes on to say that she was exhibiting displacement, which is when you put your energy into something you can do something about versus what you can't. She couldn't stop her assault, but she can try to get this guy.
Yeah.
So they bring Megan back to the precinct, and Olivia's like, "You need to let us do our job."
Yeah, please let us do our jobs. Like, please. For real.
And then Megan's like, How do you know about this?" And then Olivia's like, "My father was a rapist, and look at what I do now.
Yeah.
So I know about displacement better than anyone."
Yeah. They're like, "Yep."
And then Olivia confirms, "You need to stay away."
She's like, "Please do not. Please stay away." Like, begging you, please do not.
Like going to the different restaurants he was at.
Yeah. They're like, "Please don't do that." All right.
And Megan's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna take a walk to clear my head."
He's like, "Okay, sure."
So then Finn and Silva and Bruno and Velasco all go down to the different bars. including the
see
one,
her.
the one that the suspect was at most recently. And they're looking through these like
They're
glass
like, is that her?
bottles, and they're like, "Oh my god,
There she
she's
is.
there at the bar having a drink with the suspect."
Yeah, I'm like, oh, here we go again.
And they're like, "Oh
Here we
god."
go again, y'all.
They try to like
Be nice about it, but
nice
they're like,
about it and
seriously.
everything, and they call.
They're like, but seriously, they're like,
Yeah,
you
and
gotta stop.
we did find out that she did get his name from
Yeah.
this. And his name is Gerard Ridley. And then as soon as she sees SVU coming back over, she's like, "This is him. This is the man that attacked me." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And that's when she snaps, because she was literally sitting with this guy having a drink, like inches away from each other. And she's like, "You don't even recognize me.
Exactly. You're like, oh.
You assaulted me last night and you don't even recognize me." So she gets so pissed off that she punches him.
Yeah, and they're like, oh
And
no.
it's like, "Oh, you can't do that." I mean, honestly, like, looking at
Sure,
it,
you want to
fair.
do this.
I would fair, understandable, but you can't do that. And then Kate immediately is like, "Oh, great." She has to take Megan, and she puts her hands behind her back. And Megan's like, "You're arresting me?"
They're like,
And then
yeah.
Kate's like, "I don't want to, but you have left me with no other choice." And so they bring her outside. They also arrest the suspect. And then Olivia is arriving. And she's like, "What the heck? You said you were going for a walk."
Yeah, like it's going downhill rather quickly.
And she's
And
like,
she's
"Yeah,
like,
yeah, I was. And then I saw him. So I decided to go in the bar and have a drink with him." And she was like, "I'm going to be honest. Punching him was the best part of it."
and Olivia's like, oh
Oh my god. And Olivia's like, "Okay, look, Megan,
she
you
takes the
ever interfere?"
handcuffs off of her. It's like,
But she's like,
because she
"And
takes the handcuff. Olivia takes the handcuffs off of her, and it's like, if you ever,
if you ever interfere," and she says it in like her serious tone, so she knows she means,
her
but, you know,
serious voice.
"If you ever interfere with our investigation again, I'll arrest you myself."
I don't know.
Like, oh. In other words, yes, I know you're trying to help, but stop, or I'm not gonna be able to put this guy behind bars.
Exactly. Like, please, they're like, please, Megan, please.
Stop, please. So then we transition to Olivia talking to
The
Carisi
precinct.
at the precinct, and then he's like, "Your victim from Iowa assaulted her own rapist."
Oh yeah.
And Olivia's like, "Yeah." Carisi's like, "Great." So he goes to talk to the client. And of course, the guy is instantly like, "She came on to me. She was drinking with me. Like, it was consensual. Yada yada yada." And then Carisi's like, "What? How do we know it's consensual?" And he's like, "Well, look at me and look at her." Because, for lack of a better term, to like anyone outside of the Midwest, Megan is a pretty much dowdy looking housewife.
Yeah, she's not. She's kind of an average woman. She's not like pretty average, you know.
Yeah, and the guy is a bit,
He's a handsome guy, I guess, you know, but not too handsome, a little bit.
the suspect is like, "Look at me, look at her." And Gracie's like, "What do you mean by that?" But obviously we know girl isn't gonna get much, so the fact that she got me, she should be happy,
Okay,
etc.,
but
etc.
no.
Then Crazy walks into Olivia's office to give her an update, and he sits on her desk, and it's like, "You are the only
It's a
person
very
she
it's a
will let."
very Barbara thing. Yeah, Barbie used to do
It
it all the time
is,
too.
Yes,
Of
you
course.
and Barbara are the only people she would let sit on her desk. Other than that, she would, well, willingly. And that
Yeah.
she'd be like,
Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway.
So apparently we have his nickname is called the Broadway Rumspringer. So
I
Chris
was like,
is like,
oh well.
investigate this. We then find out that unfortunately this guy had
Has
assaulted
done this before.
somebody in college too. They were working together on an assignment. They had a few drinks. She didn't want it. He didn't care. He assaulted her anyway.
Yep.
This is when Megan's husband finally arrives.
Yeah.
His name is Richard.
He's like Mr. Richard.
We have arraignment, and the suspect Gerard is given a $25,000 bail and has to surrender his passport. And this is where things get a little iffy because now it's like, okay, there's trial is going to happen, etc. The husband wants to go home. It's like, dude, the trial hasn't even happened yet. You can't go home.
Yeah.
You take her home. It's over. And there was
we
a
need
lot
her
of
to
people in the
testify, so she can't go.
there was a lot of people like on Twitter, and I honestly have to agree with them that were like, what is this dude doing?
Exactly. It's pretty.
Um
He kind of explains that like they
And then
live in a
event-
small town. Oh, never mind. We haven't got to that part yet. Sorry. But
and Megan, like she's talking because they're trying to be like, Olivia is like, you should probably like lay low, show everybody you're like a loving housewife. And Olivia's like, no. Because I mean, Megan's like, no, because she doesn't want to see anybody to see her as weak. And Olivia goes, no one thinks you're remotely weak. Like, not every victim tries going after the guy himself.
yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
I
She's
did
like,
forget
"You're
to
not
mention
with
that
her."
earlier when Carisi and Olivia were talking in her office. Olivia did tell Carisi that she was diagnosed with MS. She did not want it coming out of the trial. And you could tell Carisi felt bad for her.
Yeah, but this is very
So yeah. Anyway, Olivia testifies. It goes well. Carisi's doing well. All is good. She is questioning Megan. Everything's fine. Like pretty much like, how do you explain like, coming to New York by yourself without your husband? She's like, it was on my bucket list, etc., etc.
He was big. He was like busy, but she wanted to go do it. Just
Yep. And then the defense argues that she was alone and had some drinks. And she didn't deny that. Yeah, she had some drinks. And then the plot twist of the entire freaking episode, the defense attorney pulls out a file and she's like, is it true you were given a pretty debilitating diagnosis a couple weeks ago? And you see Megan's face just drop.
like, how do you?
And Carisi's like, first off, how the hell do you know about this? Nobody told you. It's not common knowledge. And second, he tries to argue that it doesn't have anything to do with it. The judge brings the two up to his little desk. Carisi tries, he might even was like whispering to keep it hidden from everybody else or even longer. It's unfortunately allowed in. So now the defense is pretty much claiming that, yeah, Broadway was on her bucket list, but maybe a hookup was on her bucket list too, because she wasn't going to be able to do much after her condition started to worsen.
You're like,
And at this point, like Megan is like full of trying to be like, no,
that's not what happened.
none of this was consensual. Stop. That's not what happened. And we get a flashback to it, the attack.
Because they don't show you the
And
first
it
time.
shows that she was like
Shoved against the
she
wall.
was pushed face to the wall. Face. He is getting her from behind, lifting up her skirt, everything. Like, no point of this little flashback does any of it look consensual.
No, not at all.
And then Chris is like, we need a recess. Megan's upset. The husband's upset because
He didn't know about her
if you remember earlier, he didn't know. And she's like, I didn't want you to see me like this. I didn't want you to see me as some kind of scared invalid. And
Right.
unfortunately, that is the case for a lot of people with MS. They are often seen as fragile, invalid. When they are able to take care of their condition, they can be, as almost as pretty much as, normal as everybody else. This is when everybody on Twitter was like, what the fuck? Because the husband just leaves.
You're like, what is not a supportive spouse at all.
Yeah, like if you were actually supportive, you would have stayed and be like, I'm sorry you didn't think I'm sorry you didn't think you could tell me. I'm here with you all the way. Not I'm going home. Like, I saw so many comments that were like, yeah, that would have been an instant divorce for me. And I have to agree.
Like, because
Olivia-
his reasoning is rather selfish, which
Yeah.
we'll get to in a moment. They're almost at the
Olivia
end of the
tries
episode.
to talk to him again, talk to Megan again, and for the first time, Megan is like, I'm done. I can't do this. So there's a commercial, and then we transition to Olivia visiting Carisi in his office, and we, for the first time, see that Carisi has 2 rooms in his office. We
Ew,
see what the second room
They
looks
usually
like.
don't film from this angle. So
Yeah, so it's like filmed like a sideways angle, and we see there's like multiple giant bookcases all along the wall. There's like another little like table. So it must be like where he does like his work when he doesn't want to be in his office. We also found out that he made tea because he's got a little teacup.
Yeah, he's making some tea here.
Is this Olivia or Carisi that says this?
It's Carisi.
Yeah, and Carisi, then of course, being the one awesome man that he is, goes on to say, in regards to what the defense is doing, I'm so tired of the argument that a woman cries rape because she doesn't want to explain what's really going on.
Yeah, because that's what the defense is arguing. It's like that simply is not true.
Sometimes people don't want to share everything about their personal business.
Yeah.
And that
doesn't mean it's bad.
Get raped.
Exactly.
So Olivia's like, I'm gonna go try to talk to Megan again and see what I can do.
Yeah.
Megan is unfortunately worried that people in her small town will think.
Because Megan's a small town girl.
And Olivia's like, look, what you need to do is fight. You need to fight to live your life, both, after this and with the diagnosis, because the world could need more women like you. Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
So then Megan testifies again, explains why she didn't mention the MS, explains that, again, it was completely not consensual. She loves her husband. She wouldn't cheat on her husband. she pretty much turns like the final nail in the coffin.
Yep.
And then we get
Here,
probably
the closing arguments. This is pretty good. I like this closing. This is one of the,
probably one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite of Carisi's closing arguments so
I wish
far.
we'd written the whole thing down, but it was really good.
But I remembered most of the details. So basically, he's like talking about how first Megan got violated by this defendant, and him taking advantage of her while she's just trying to enjoy a trip.
Mhm.
Then you all saw as she got violated for the second time as the defense attorney, for no reason whatsoever, brought up her diagnosis. And she had to tell all of you. And it's like, boom. I was so hoping he was going to say that because it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also, they still didn't tell us how that she found out.
Exactly. They don't
So-
explain this, so we'll never know, I guess.
And then Gracie goes on, he looks at the jury talking about Megan, and he says, she's without a doubt one of the most determined victims I have ever met. She won't give up, so I won't either. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like,
there's his heart. There's his heart
Yeah.
again, and mic
Yeah.
drop.
You're warming up. He's warming back up again, even though we're a little scared. He might be going back down here looking rather
But
soon.
right now,
But,
that was good. That was good.
You know,
it was
we're
like,
only gonna
yeah, that was, yep.
for now.
My that
Because,
is
you know,
this is now my favorite Carisi closing argument.
because we're about 2 episodes away from the trial, I think, if my math is correct. So,
And then
it may not be looking too good for Carisi, sir. But
okay, so we'll take this while we can.
we'll take his
Uh,
happy moment while we can. All right.
And then we find he's found guilty. Woohoo!
Boom. Yay.
And the camera
Justice is
shows
served.
like Carisi, and he's standing there and he's looking so proud of himself, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
We haven't
yay,
seen you smile in a long time, Carisi.
yay, you're slowly coming back to us.
Slowly. No, we're a little worried. We might be going back down
Yeah,
the
we're
hill again.
scared. When are we gonna lose it again? But okay. So then we transition to Megan and her husband Richard walking through Times Square again. Apparently they're still staying together, but I digress.
Yeah.
And Olivia's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. I mean, oh my god, Megan's telling Olivia, yeah, I'm ready to go home, but is it weird that I still find Broadway really magical after all of this?
Mm-hmm.
And Olivia's like, Broadway is a truly magical place. If you ever want to come back, Broadway will be here waiting.
Mm-hmm. And that's the
End episode. And I give this one 4.5 stars.
Yeah, I'd say 4.
The only reason it doesn't get 5,
But you know,
we didn't find out how the defense attorney found out about her condition.
yeah, it's like,
They kind of just left that up in the air.
yeah, it's a little confusing because, you know, like HIPAA laws, you can't just ask. It's very complicated.
All right, what's next week's episode? Because I don't remember.
Not an episode today. Not an episode today, y'all. Sorry. So it's called. Hold on. I'm almost touchdown wings. Here we go. Sorry.
It's called Undertow, but I don't know what it's about.
Oh, this is going to be a little disturbing. Oh boy.
Oh,
A
fun.
complicated case involving sex and drugs divides the squad. Teresa must convince the jury to focus on the law and not the defendant's accusations. But I think I have to watch it to get the information because I didn't explain what happened.
Interesting.
Basically, she's an adult. This woman is an adult, and she's hanging out with this guy. But she finds out this guy is a minor. She finds out this guy is actually a minor. And you know, they did ecstasy. So they're like, who's the victim here? Because yes, he is a minor, but he did drug her. So it's
the
like
woman who was with a minor.
unknowingly. She says unknowingly.
Versus
then
the minor
drugs
drugged her
her.
so he
So
could
you're
be
like-
with her.
So we're
And
like,
then usually there's like a scene in the promo where the parents are yelling at her. She's
yeah,
like, he's a minor, you're a pedophile. And it's like, are we not going to Are we going to ignore the fact that your son still drugged me?
Yeah, so we're kind of
Like that's
in this
because
because apparently the squad is going to be rather divided about this issue. So
like yeah, because on one hand, yeah, she was with a minor, but she wasn't
it's the law. That's why
necessarily.
Carisi's job, unfortunately, is to worry about the law and not.
Now the question is, who's the defendant and who's the prosecution in this? I mean, who's the defense and who's the prosecution? I don't think we know.
Mhm.
But it's also like,
Who's in the wrong? They both of these situations are bad, but which one is worse?
but I feel like the difference with this is like, I don't know, most of the time when there's
Which law are we going to put above the other law? Basically, is kind
women
of what we're
getting
like
drugged or a minor.
a minor.
And I'm
So
sorry, but until I get more context, I'm on the girl's side.
we don't. Yeah, we don't know. So we're gonna find out next
Yeah,
week because
I
there's
know
an
me
episode
and
tonight. So
but like, A, he's posing as an adult. B, he's freaking
because
drugging
she
women.
because she clearly says that like I thought he was an adult. He looks like an adult,
Like, dude, what you
a
doing?
young adult, but like in his 20s, or he looks like he's in his 20s, but apparently he's not. So so
Yeah,
undertow.
his parents are probably just pissed because they're like
His
trying
son
to
made a very bad decision.
hide the fact that their son made a very, very, very bad decision.
So we're gonna see what happens. There's nothing else to talk about. But we are vague because we do have that's next week, I believe. And I think I could be wrong. There might be one more before it, one after that, I think. It could be wrong. Because because the show will be back on the 13th.
Oh,
Either the week
yeah.
after that, either the week after that, either the 20th or the 27th, we're getting the trial episode.
Ooh.
So it's
We
sooner
still
than
we still don't know if our our
the thing
our
we want. So
news is true,
we still
but
yeah. We have
we
time
do
to think about it if
we do know that um oh my god, that some of the cast members of Galileo started rehearsing again, so we'll
yeah,
have to
so
see.
we'll see.
And Kelly posted a video of her playing guitar. We love that.
He is. So that
And she's got like our little like board that
yeah.
like changes when she plays her guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a message that said, "I think you are magic," from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
love.
she's her little son is watching her. It's very cute.
I keep forgetting his name is Oldie. I'm
Yeah,
really
that's his name.
curious as to where they came up with
His
that
name's
name.
Oldie. Listen, I guess you're not as southern as I. Well, you're not southern, so you don't
I'm not
understand.
Southern, so no,
So
I don't know.
as a southerner, I wasn't surprised by that name. Okay, some okay. Southerners are real creative with their names. All right, listen, that's all I have to say. That's why I wasn't surprised that you were. So, but I don't know what else to talk about. I think we covered everything. But
Yeah, I think that might be it. We've been
yeah,
writing things.
write some stuff, things, whatever. Can't say this because what we need to do is once we find out when this episode the trial episode is, we gotta finish that story we were writing before then.
Yeah,
That's like the next priority on the list of like
we don't know right now.
we started writing a Carisi family vacation like as a like here's a fun thing to do to take our minds off of the impending thing that's about to happen, but we
We
didn't
just
actually finish
don't
it
know when the impending thing is happening.
soon. Apparently, well, the end of the month at the minimum. So yeah,
I think that's it because we already did the
that's it.
mothership, and
We did that last
that.
Tuesday. So that's all we got today, y'all. Short and sweet to the point.
I feel like I was gonna say something else, and I don't remember.
I don't think anything's happening in between now and next week.
I'll check. I'm just gonna check and see if there's any other upcoming
Yeah.
birthdays or
Oh, March one.
there is. She's not on the show anymore, but Cameron's birthday is March 8th, which is International Women's Day.
Yeah, one's March 8th to Saturday.
And which is really cute because her son's birthday is today.
Yeah.
So he was like a early
boy.
birthday present. Aww.
He's doing Little Shop. He's in Little Shop of Horrors with Liz.
Yes,
With
Liz
Liz
Gillies, who was in Victorious.
Yes,
if you
Victorious.
know her.
Yes.
With
Victorious. As a show you now, when you're an adult, like you watched it as a kid. When you're an adult, it's actually funnier because you're like,
Victorious, who
apparently it's supposed to be a Victorious spinoff with Trina as a teacher at Hollywood Arts, but I don't know when it's coming. But that is
like out of all the freaking people to get to be a
Trina.
teacher, why her? No.
Trina, did she get into Hollywood Arts or did she not? There was something about like this whole episode
They
lore
did,
about. I know it was a lore
like,
about how she got in because she didn't have the
they
talent.
did, but it was like so weird that because everyone's like, she
How
has
did
no
she get in?
How is she here?
It's like
So,
a very like bizarre accident happens
to the
and she
thing,
gets into Hollywood Arts.
Yeah, so Milo's Manningham, Cameron's son, is currently in Little Shop of Horrors with Liz Gillies, who was on Victorious, and also on Victorious was Ariana Grande. So, yay. And they both made their Liz and Ariana both made their Broadway debut together in a musical called 13 when they were teenagers.
Yes.
So there's your fun facts for today.
Yeah, so some musical facts today. So just something to talk about, and it feels like we've covered everything, and that's a weird place to be. Like there's nothing happening. There's no news, nothing happening. Like bored. But I think we'll stop so we can write and stop being distracted. That's what we'll do. Can't think of anything.
I was gonna say we could do like a quiz. Like done like a Law and Order trivia quiz.
No, we're not. We're gonna stop. No more. We're gonna stop. That's enough. Because we don't go. We'll maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll think of something to do next week. I don't know. Well, she'll be back next week. I don't know.
All right, for now. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening. Love you. We're not gonna do anything else. We love you. Thanks. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and share with your friends.
Your family, your enemies, anybody pretty much.
Anybody who likes Law and Order.
Anybody who's gonna watch us.
Yeah, listen. We accept all kinds here, okay? You may disagree with us, but you are still welcome here.
And if you need any more reason to keep watching us, we keep getting noticed by cast members.
That is true.
We have had cast members actually listen to us talk for 2 hours.
Yes, literally. So, our very tiny show that we still aren't paid for. We do it because we like to do it.
It's like
you do this because we like to do it.
Yes. But we also like money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd rather be a content. That's all we have, so.
I would much rather be a content creator. I love my job, but yeah.
One day we'll get there, all right, y'all.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thank you for supporting our dreams.
Listening. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hold on. My mouse froze. Hold on. Stop.